we're going to show you what we think is probably our very best bathroom remodeling to date. So we are going to show you how we took this old 1983 ugly bathroom with ugly wallpaper and convert this ugly duckling into a beautiful spring swan.
And we are going to do this with a lot of time-lapse video.
We're going to show you how this ugly old bathroom turns into this beautiful resort-style bathroom.
Here's day one on the foreclosed condo I took over. There's the ugly master closet, and we're leading right here into the bathroom, and just look how terrible this wallpaper is. Can you imagine coming home hungover and looking at that wallpaper? It'd make me want to puke. Look at that, people. Oh. So we did some demo there. We took all the walls down, and we found some broken pipes underneath the drain.
And we're going to try to take a look down in there and see. Not sure if it's the builder's fault or what the deal is, but you can see what happened there. The PVC pipe broke.
This is the crawl space between our condo on the second floor and the neighbor's unit downstairs. Now here we're doing some dry fitting of tiles on the floor with our 1/2-inch travertine tile, and there's the hole that we have to cut for the toilet. So here we are slicing into the ceiling of the bathroom of our downstairs neighbor to get access to these pipes that we have to cut. And so here we are now. We got inside there, and check it out, folks. We're going through with it, and we are finally making this repair. We wouldn't be able to get the drain working until these pipes are repaired. And so there's the finished pipe repair right there in the box out. But guess what? We decided we want to fill in this box out. So we're attaching some rebar here. We sealed everything up there, and we're figuring out where the drain needs to go. And I'm putting my mortar mix in there, my concrete. I'm filling it in so that it will be fully level with the shower floor. This is our vanity as it sits in the JK cabinet store. It comes in 3 pieces with the granite for $1,600 total. So there we are, dry fitting it into the bathroom. We've already got the mirror, and the light is installed there. And then we turn our direction over to the shower stall area, where we're filling up the wall there, securing all of the Hardibacker boards. This is the cementitious backer board that you use when you're doing tiling. Okay, so now we're starting work on the tiled arch niche. So this is a big prefabricated arch niche that we're using, and I'm just putting a ring of silicone around it, and we're attaching it to the wall here, and then we'll screw it into the Hardy boards when we're done, and all of that has to get waterproofed over there. And there's the kind of final look of the wall boards ready to go, ready to accept tile. So now we're starting to do some fitting of the Kerdi shower pan and the Kerdi curb that comes along in that kit. So now we're moistening down the wall before we add the thin layer of thin set mortar here to put the Kerdi Membrane. So we embed this membrane into this thin layer of the thin set, and you see you just kind of squeegee out all of the excess mortar. The Kerdi membrane is somewhat cumbersome to use, so I prefer to use the Kerdi boards. Those are panels that already have the membrane on them. So here we're adding mortar to the floor to embed the curb on there that comes with that Schluter Kerdi shower pan kit. And remember, you got to put it on all surfaces there, so we hit every little surface that we can put the mortar on before we embed that curb down into place. And it's 2 sections. So there you can see we've got our whole shower pan sort of format fit there, and we have the Kerdi bands over all of our Kerdi membrane going all the way up, so all of our seams have to have this overlapping Kerdi band. And here's what everything looks like. Put in our little custom shower seat. And then you can see what we did with the membrane. It goes all the way around and folds inside the tile niche there. Now it's time to attach the drain, folks. So here we're going to put on some primer and some PVC cement, and we're going to cement this drain right there into it, right there on the flame. So there's the primer going on there, and now we got the cement going on there, and then we embed it down, and we embed it into the mortar, and then we're going to scrape the mortar all the way around it. So now this whole drain flange is going to be just permanently part of the system. Okay, so now you saw we put the drain in, We got the membrane down on the floor, and then we're and just like on the walls, folks, we're troweling out all of the excess mortar that's underneath, getting rid of any bubbles, so that this Kerdi membrane lays completely flat against that bottom shower drain pan. So there's what it looks like there. There's a close-up view of the drain. So you can see it's waterproof all the way up to the drain there. And there's what everything looks like. There's your Kerdi band on the corners. Wherever there's a 90-degree change of plane, you want to make sure you have that Kerdi band there. Now we're dry fitting some of the 12 by 24-inch travertine tiles. These are about a ½ thick. And we're also dry fitting some of the floor. So I've got the floor all cut up and ready to go, so that when we're ready, we just do it. And here we're putting the first tile on top of the bench, just to make sure that thing's done, because everything else gets done around that piece. Now we're starting to lay down these sheets of the river rock tile right there onto the shower pan floor. And it's very simple, it's very straightforward, and we had already cut these to fit on those angles and everything. So everything should fit just fine. And there may be a few tiny little pieces here and there that we have to stitch in, especially when you get around the drain here. So here, watch what we're doing here as I get these sheets pushed into place. And remember, we come back later with a tapping block and tap everything down. I'm just pushing them into their final resting place at the moment. So then we put the drain on there, we make sure everything is fine. And here's the bathroom floor. Here it is all completed there, the shower floor with the bathroom floor. But there's how everything looks once the drain was put in. And you notice how the tiles are just slightly above the drain level, just to make sure the water goes down into the drain. There's our niche. And taking another look at the floor there, the shower floor. And there we used our Remodel tile leveling system. That's a series of these levels with clips that help make sure that you have a perfect surface. Now we're grouting the river rock tiles and completed that process there. Here is the river rock tile shower floor after we grouted, and then we're starting to work on the arch niche, which took quite a bit of spacers between those tiles. It took many spacers to keep all of these individual little tiles in place. And there's our pile in the master closet. And now here's what the arch is looking like so far, and after we pulled the spacers out. And the difficult part is coming up now, because now we have to do that perimeter, the frame that goes around it. And we're going to make it look somewhat rugged. We don't want it to look perfect and smooth. We want it to look like old school artisan type effect. So we have to figure a way to get these straight pieces to curve. So we're going to use our compass here, and we're going to, here's our dry fitting that we're doing here. We're taping some along the bottom to make sure everything fits, and we get an idea for how we're going to wrap this arch around the top there. So I'm drawing my lines with the shape of the tiles. So we will cut the tiles into pieces that will fit around that curve there. So that's what we're doing. We're setting up our template and figuring out how big these segments need to be in order to make them look believable. See? So I cut them up, I numbered them up, and we're going to attach them here. And here you can see it was very difficult. I had to use these sticks to hold them into place and use all of these spacers all over the place there. It looked like a really strange mad professor type contraption there. But in the end, it really came out pretty good. There it is the next day, see? It looked nice and rugged, just like I wanted. I did not want a perfectly smooth arch. And everything else about this here just looks very classy. Now we're grouting all of the little honeycomb-shaped tiles there. Pretty much did most of that by hand. Okay, and now we're starting to get ready to do the wall tiles there. So I've got my larger board in place, and I've got my first two pieces laid out there. And you can see we always back butter the tiles. If you don't back butter your tiles, you will not get good adhesion from the thin set mortar. And we're practicing figuring out where the border should go that we're going to do there. And we've got it figured out, and there it is. We've started moving up the wall there, and look how intricate the work is on the bench. So now we're starting to progress further up the wall. And we're using more of our Remodel tile leveling spacers as well as our other spacers, and you can see just all sorts of sizes and shapes of spacers. Okay, now my video guy was out sick with kidney stones for several days, so these next steps here I had to do with just photos, but you can see some close-up shots here of running the tile up the wall there and all the way up to the ceiling. I hate it when they stop short of the ceiling and don't go all the way up. So here's all of the apparatus we had in there as we were working. And you can see we still use the tile leveling wedges there on top of the curb as well. And there's the little medallion we stuck in the middle of the front of the seat, and the crown molding up on the ceiling. We had to tape it up to keep it from falling down, and a couple of pieces had to be propped up as well. There it is all the way up there and fully tiled. So it looks very classy. It looks like a high-end resort hotel bathroom or something you would see in one of those ultra fancy spas. But what a transformation here, because look, and remember the old hangover wallpaper there in the toilet area? Well, look how much better that toilet area looks now on that nice travertine tile there. And just the classy views of this shower here and the fancy new light. There was never any lighting inside the shower before, and now it's fully lit. There's what it looked like before, if you remember. So it went from looking like this to this. There's your before and after there, and we had the nice frameless glass put on there, the frameless glass door covering the entire shower there, the front. And there's a nice look at the oil brushed bronze, the shower head and the arch. So overall it came out really well. And then outside in the dressing area, there's what it looked like before, the old ugly vanity. And then there's the in-between where we had to redo all the plumbing and the drywall, and then piece together the three pieces that made up the vanity. And of course we had to level everything once we got it into place there. And then we had to have the granite guys come, and they had to cut the side of the granite for us because it wouldn't fit between the alcove. We put on some nice fancy light switch plates, and there it is, nicely snug inside the alcove there. And we added the hardware after that. We added some, we decided to do the tile backsplash afterwards instead of using the granite for the backsplash like some people do. And of course there's one view of what it looked like before with the vanity, and here it is now. Just a complete different change, and I loved those curved doors on the front of that vanity. Are just so incredible. And then of course here's another view looking in towards the bathroom itself, the shower area, before and after. Here you can see is our completed project here in the master closet, 70 inches by 70 inches. And as you can see, it turned out quite nice. This was a full custom job, meaning I had to cut every single one of these shelves to my own design because we couldn't use any of the design software online because they wouldn't let us put shelves on both sides of the room. So I ditched all of the online sites and just went with my own little hand-drawn, sketched-out design here. I just sat here in front of the wall and came up with a design and went and cut all the pieces and put it together. Master vanity here, we put in this new double vanity. All of the other condos in this area here have a single vanity. We put in a double, and we put in this bamboo wood flooring that you see here. So that was good having these shelves right here because this leads into the master shower right here. And here you can see we spent quite an amount of time doing the tiling in here, especially that niche that you see there. And I even, if you look at the top here, I even added this stone, the travertine crown along the top. You don't see that in too many installations. So I thought that would make a nice touch. And this right here took us a couple of days. It took me about 2 days to cement all of these in. Well, if you're finding this video inspiring for your remodeling project, hey, do us a favor and leave us a thumbs up down below. That tells us that you like us. And make sure you are subscribed with the alerts turned on. You'll be alerted whenever we do our free tool giveaway kickoffs, because you don't want to miss out on those for sure, folks. And then here's a couple of videos for you to watch. Make sure you watch this playlist here of the kitchen remodeling videos that we have for you. And then also this paver brick driveway video. Make sure to watch that as well. We'll see you folks on the next one.